Welcome, welcome everyone to this live stream. Another Apple update, as you can see, straight from our secret source and headquarter. Before I start here with this update, for everyone else to learn something, there's also one news I actually forgot in yesterday's Bits and IT news of the week. As usual, when you reportedly maybe soon ditch its butterfly keyboard design for all of you. You might remember that this is an amazing keyboard that fails more often than not with stuck keys due to dust or wear, plastic, metal wear or dust, whatever the case might be, something of that sort. And now after like 3 generations where Apple supposedly improved it, well, not supposedly, they improved it a little bit, some plastic membrane and stuff like that. Anyway, so after 3 or 4 years of this more amazing keyboard innovation, their managers, as they allegedly maybe finally start to ditch this. Also, of course, when the latest Mac came out, it was already listed in the repair program, the extended repair warranty program. So why am I not having Macs anymore and instead this amazing ThinkPad? This is why. And slightly wondering here, but so we have some plea breaks because this doesn't look entirely live. Anyway, this was that news that we forgot yesterday, for all of you to know that. And also there is this new 16-inch or something. Also all the professional Mac people, fans, were begging for a larger, like 17-inch replacement from back in the day. Maybe that is coming out. I wonder if they will still use this failing butterfly keyboards or if that will be the first with the non-failing keyboard. In any way, in other news, I had already on my to-do, you see, our stuff to discuss is kind of endless. I've made already the screenshot here yesterday. I wanted to say this is exactly what you get when you are living the Apple App Store live or in general other app stores and services, because I wanted to point out this is what developers need to take down their throat. The quarterly review of paid application schedule and contract changes, agreement changes, and you cannot submit new, so you cannot even opt out, right? So you agreed to this 10 years ago, a decade ago, when we first went into the App Store. And even then, this is a monstrous amount of pages of, you can imagine, American legalized English gibberish, and sums up who is reading this, right? This bloody legal contract stuff. And even if you review it, what is the point of reviewing this American contract bullshit when you have no means to opt out anyway? Like, you can't sell in the App Store if you are not eating their dog food here and accepting this. So even if you don't like a couple of paragraphs, like this sentence, this legal state like is in California or something, or this and that, whatever, and accepting the review policy, and it can be rejected, and all the fine print or whatsoever. So you have no means if you want to sell. And again, on the iPhone, there is not even a possibility to sideload this except enterprise distribution profiles, which certainly you can't scale in the millions to all the regular customers. We have plenty of drop frames though. Anyway, and so my point is, you cannot get away not accepting this, and then they are changing this fine print so that you need to accept 100 pages of fine print is not even enough. Every other, as you see here, review the updated paid application schedule, and we get this every other quarter, at least, usually, plus minus, give or take, sometimes even monthly. And the only thing you can do is accept this. You can't. So I wanted to make a video, but we uploaded updates to XXScan and OCRKit the other day, so I had to accept this, because if you upload here an app, you cannot upload an app even. When you click on the new version button or any of that sort there in the app management here, you get a message, you first need to accept this paid application schedule. And then, again, my point being, you cannot unaccept or waive it or skip it or whatsoever. You simply can't do new apps and business in the App Store. And then this is also hilarious. Why did I make this screenshot? Yes, leaking our company address, which by legal, probably German, if not EU law, leads to be on our company imprint anyway, but don't get our nerves and dox us here. But anyway, so this is anyway the old address. And this is also another point, what I made the other day dealing with companies like this. You get nothing done with these companies. They are the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. So this is our old address. And fun fact, there was a typo and we only, so first of all, we changed the address. I have no idea. This is the first time in 3-4 years that I noticed that is an old address, legal entity here. And fun fact, when Apple, I don't know what they've done. They must have typed this manually because they even had the typo here. They first of all, they had this very ugly, as you see, this is all uppercase, which looks really ugly. And they must have manually typed this from one digital form to another, because once a customer, we only noticed this a couple of years ago when a customer wanted his money back and they sent us their invoice. But anyway, the only thing we could say is, yeah, sorry, your contract partner is Apple. We don't even see any names or customer data. Please contact your local Apple representative in the App Store or Genius or whatsoever to get your money back from this first point of sale that is the App Store there. Anyway, when the customer sent us the invoice, it is the first time we realized, wait a second, why is our company name misspelled there? They had their EXA code, some letter missing, and they had not GmbH, which is a German limited, the German form of limited. And they had here GmbH instead of GmbH, and we never mistyped this. And it was not visible in any other form. And I only bring this up. There you see how hilarious this is. It took us 1 year to get this fixed because we did not want that all the customers get this invoice with, there is like publisher or something like that of that sort on the invoice. And we did not want it to have all the customers' invoices with a misspelled legal form of ours, certainly. And it took us 1 year, approximately 12 phone calls every month. And even then, and by the way, fun fact, in no other form did we see this typo. So in all the electronic forms in the web management stuff here, everywhere we saw the correct form. And I have no idea what following up with phone calls and emails. A pity that I didn't do YouTube, but this was hilarious. And after 6 months, someone said, yeah, they fixed it now. And then I even purchased it myself then with some third Apple ID account there just to check if the address is really corrected, and it wasn't. And then the saga continued another 6 months. Sort all the cases, all the entries and all the database at Apple are fixed. Now I see, wait a second, why do they use another old address? Well, this at least doesn't have the typo, but this is not our current street and postal code. And I really wonder, should I go? First of all, I doesn't really care anymore about all this Apple bullshit, but this is not only Apple, but also Microsoft, Google dealing with this big companies. It's hilarious. But this is not even all. Why do I make this video today is I woke up to an Apple review email. The other day on Friday or Thursday, we submitted an app. And by the way, fun fact for all of the recurring fans in the audience, that with the previous emails and I made this live stream about stupid Apple email support as well as phone support. I even recorded phone calls because it just became too hilarious. And fun fact, because our apps disappeared on the Apple server, we sent it also. This is why I made this as a videos. It is completely mind-blowing and depressive to work with companies. So this, you might think, yeah, just use the latest Xcode version and this and that, yada, yada, yada. And if you watch the other videos, they mostly wanted screenshots. And with screenshots, this is also hilarious. Screenshot of our app not being there in the management interface. It's hilarious. Of course, a screenshot helps nothing there. Anyway, this video, you will not believe, creative reasons for Apple's geniuses to reject apps. Guess, leave me in the comments below before you click on pause. Leave me in the comments below what you think is the latest creative reason. And I have seen a lot of rejected. And seriously pause this live stream. Leave me in the comments what do you think is the latest reason for Apple to reject our update. And again, we are in the Mac App Store since the first day, is maybe 6 years or something now, or 7 or whatever that might be. And I've seen our app rejected for the screenshot. They didn't like the screenshot. They didn't like we had a link to please check before purchase, please check scanner compatibility on our website, exactscan.com/compatible scanners. Apple rejected and censored this link because they stated in their review rejection, this link, exactscan.com/compatible scanners.html, is advertising for people to purchase it directly on our website and circumventing the 30% Apple stuff. What is the outcome? The outcome is, of course, people are more often than not purchasing our software and it doesn't even work for them. So much to amazing user support and end user support. And anyway, and also you have seen, if you watch the previous videos, the usual reason nowadays that Apple rejects our app is that we would access the user's contact, which we are not even doing. I made a video about this already. We are completely freaking not accessing any users' contacts. Other people commented below my videos. This might be if we are loading, accessing other playlists or other files that are outside, that are not like classified in Apple's internal sandbox stuff. So if we would access something like library, application, helper, whatsoever, something which we are not even doing, right? We are not, the only thing we accessed was crash logs, so library, crash logs, reporter, something, whatever that URL and path was. Anyway, so I commented this out. So first I thought maybe it's our crash reporter looking for crash logs of macOS and asking the user whether to also send it to us, because otherwise only Apple gets them. I commented this out and the app was still rejected. So I don't, in the meantime, don't really believe it's a crash reporter. But in any case, currently, so not only we changed nothing, and currently we can send updates to the App Store, which is of course already hilarious that in 2019 you need to be happy that you can send your own updates to the App Store. And also this update, so you see 19.7, so we sent, they also see the review, right? We sent 2 updates to Apple and ExactScan Pro was accidentally randomly approved and ExactScan was not rejected. So now I reveal the latest reason which I've never seen in a decade, so or 6 years or 7 years. Our app was rejected here from Apple, reason 4.3, design spam, macOS guidelines 4.3 design. We noticed that your applications is identical to the icon of other apps already submitted to the App Store. Apps that use the same icon may make it difficult for the user to find apps and are considered a form of spam. Next step to resolve this issue, please revise your app icon to ensure it is unique and does not duplicate the icon of other apps. Please see the screenshot attached. Like, yeah, we have a regular and a pro version, and yeah, we use the same icon because we didn't really bother like changing the icon of what, yeah, and the icon is not the most amazing. You see, we have other things to do, like, but for 6 years, for 7 years, we submitted the apps, we submitted 100 updates or something like that, and after 6 or 7 years, Apple is now, we want to get a bug fix to the user. There's always some small bug fix, some scanner driver here. We also added support for new scanners, a couple of Canon scanners and Panasonic scanners and Avision scanners. And we also fixed support, or actually not like fixed, we never supported some old Fujitsu scanners, some higher price 2000 or something pro scanner that we never had. A user contacted us and we knew already in the meantime the scanners sometimes better than the vendor and manufacturer. We made a remote change, like we guessed like, yeah, maybe the scanner doesn't like this bit, and that was the bit the scanner didn't like. The user was happy. And by the way, I think this user then purchased it in the App Store. Says, yeah, it doesn't work in the App Store. Like, yeah, we just fixed it for you. Why did you not buy it directly that we earn 30% more? But anyway, so yeah, Apple is forcing us to change the icon after 7 years, and now we can't get the update to the end user that is potentially waiting for fixes. And there you see, why do I document this? I document this that you see what a clusterfuck of a bullshit this App Store shit is. And if they don't find a reason to reject your app due to accessing the contacts, or they don't like a sentence or URL to bypass a 30% App Store revenue, they submit this for having the same icon for your regular and Pro version, which is a little bit unfortunate because we were sometimes thinking to change the icon to make a Pro label on the Pro version or something, but just so far it never was important. And yeah, now Apple, after 7 years, Apple's App Store makes it so important for us to change it. And what is also hilarious, if we change the icon, we would rather change the Pro version because this exact scan version is more regular and the Pro version is more Pro. So certainly the logic, our logic implies that we would make the Pro version stand out more, like more professional. There's some Pro rectangle imprint label something. And this is also what I wrote here. So we only have also, I understand other vendors might have 100 apps, but even then, if they have a navigation app and one navigation app for Germany, France, Spain, USA, Japan, China, and so on, then what do they change on the icon? Does this really help so much if you have a TomTom or Navigon or whatever those not a paid advertisement random navigation apps might be, or Nokia here, Map something? And does it really help if you have 100 icons that looks the same, like a navigation compass or something, or some map something, and you only change one small US, DE, FR, ES, and CN for Spain something? So yeah, I understand that 100 same icons are strange. Maybe I need to check, maybe someone from, maybe some scammer from Nigeria or India or China or Russia or also in Germany or US copied our app, and maybe I should actually check if there are no copies and clones from our own app there, but I guess it's only our own too. But I only want to point out all of this stuff is annoying and it wastes so much time. I would rather do other things like implement. I have a couple of scanner drivers to theoretically implement. I have a couple of image processing stuff to implement, but now I need to waste my time. And also now I need to rely on the goodwill of Apple, that I would want to change the Pro icon, but Apple rejected exact scan without Pro. Now I need to rely on Apple's goodwill to one last time maybe approve this update for me to change the Pro update in the next version. It's like, this is also stupid and hilarious. And this is why I'm not whining, I'm not hating, I just want to document this is daily life in the App Store, and I'm not making this shit up. You have seen the other videos, and I'm not like waiting for those stuff to happen. I actually wanted to hack on the PS3 today, so maybe there will be a PS3 video later today because PS3 fans are waiting. But this is, make no mistakes, Apple is not your friendly neighbor and best friend from next door. This is Apple's real face. You see this with overheating mix, with butterfly keyboards, with soldered on SSDs, with soldered on memory, with glued in batteries and all this fun stuff in between. I hope you learned something, and leave me in the comments below what you think about all the review situation and the future of software distribution. We have one comment, isn't there currently in US class action lawsuit against Apple because of the App Store? Yeah, there is. I think also there is one lawsuit, in maybe more, but at least one in the newspapers in the US of maybe even some users there. I think even a user is suing Apple for forcing them to buy in the App Store and preventing a free market or something of that sort. And there is a huge lawsuit in the EU that if I would have had more time and money, I would maybe even would want to join. That right now it is mostly Spotify suing Apple for exactly this 30% profit. And so you see, we changed something. A customer had an expensive, I think around $2,000 or euro or something, professional scanner. Maybe he had it for, maybe this is an older scanner, so maybe he got it for cheap on eBay or something. Maybe he used it already 6 years. I don't know. I didn't ask him. But we made a change for this scanner to work because we have this own driver. Usually they don't work. The better scanners don't work on macOS. This is why we have nearly 500 drivers in ExactScan. So we made extra efforts to support this user, and this user is not thinking so far to support us with earning a little bit more, but the user is going, and this is not the first time, we had this already 10, 20 times, and this is really depressive. You make an extra effort, and this is also why I don't like tipping waiters in restaurants. In my opinion, they should, or at a hair salon or something. By the way, new haircut, because all for you guys. Even then I need to go more often to a hairdresser, because otherwise I look here like streaming from my parents' basement when I'm cheapskating out on stuff like that. And yeah, why should I overpay this? Who is overpaying me? It is extremely rare. Maybe in 10 years of software development, maybe only 2 times, maximum 3 times people tipped us, I would say. And this is extremely rare. And then people rather go to the App Store and waste 30, in my opinion, they waste 30% of their money making Apple richer and not supporting the small indie developers to buy a new Mac or keyboard mouse or have a haircut. This is why I really don't like this tipping stuff. In my opinion, paying a fair. I read in the news that people are more and more also encouraging a fair salary, that they don't need to rely, like working for free and relying on tips to make a living. That is really unfair business practice, in my opinion. And I also find this a little bit unfair, because who is tipping us? At least maybe sometimes you guys here on the YouTube super chat, but in a way it should also not be that we finance each other with tips. Anyway, I hope you learned something and find this updates here on regular. So yeah, in contrast to popular belief, we are still doing professional software development, not only YouTube live streaming. But again, it is a little bit sharing bullshit and a little bit not losing the mind with this kind of stuff, because then at least it's a little bit fun poking here at Apple for all the craziness they are doing, and they're not only eating this frustration inside here on a daily basis and losing the mind. Anyway, maybe after lunch we make a P3 stream or something. And we also need to next, so not only RSX, which I'm not the most thrilled about, because usually when we get a graphic exception, then we need to reboot our Linux currently. That is not very nice to develop, but also to run the latest kernel. The kernel developers made some changes, so I actually right now can't even boot the latest kernel, because we need to forward port our storage changes, because when we run in SGameOS, then we have more access rights and can access more storage. So this is why I need to do some a little bit annoying changes to the storage driver to work again. So maybe see you later. Otherwise, leave me in the comments below what you think about all the forced App Store stuff. And otherwise, I hope to see you soon for all the next stuff to come.